Testing, testing, testing. Okay, we're recording. For fuck's sake, yeah, that fuck off. Alright, let's start with the original.
Five, 4, 3.
So that was the entire recording that I used as my base footage. Right. First effect is this thing here. Now that's this little boy over here. And as you can see, that's a lot of keyframes.
That's a lot of damage!
It's all just corner tugging to make everything fit manually, which was a bitch. And that's that. And a little bit of that up there. And that's the intro. Now let's see, nothing interesting in this one, it's just a video clip. Then, for that little strobe effect, it's just little frames cut out. Then every beat is manually like zoomed in, as you can see there. And that just plays for a while. Well, that bit should be pretty obvious how that works. Then this bit here is looped because it was a nice little bit where I was standing still in game. So I could do that. So that's just the same bit looped a few times. Then there's this brief little moment. Just to hide a little cut. Right. Then there's a lot of just overlapping layers. Now, these are all the same bit of footage, just with a little bit of delay behind them. And the way to make these colors is simply, let's see, where is it? It's not here. Oh wait, it's the wrong one. There we are. It's just a channel mixer set to the different colors needed, and if you set it like to max and this to 0, then you get it completely one single color. The green screen effect is just an ultra key, so if I were to do this, yeah, I suppose I should have seen that coming. If I do this, then you see it's just green screen Symmetra. I recorded this on the Hollywood green screen. There we go. And it's curry in the background, heavily edited to make sure that it's just the best shots of curry. It's not actually curry, it's some chicken something. Gordon Ramsay. Here's Symmetra, consisting of front layer Symmetra, which I made transparent in Photoshop, and this thing behind it. Let's see if I can isolate. Yes, just this thing behind it that I also made in Photoshop with the same file. Then, using the channel mixer, turns red. More green screen Symmetras, made into the single color by the channel mixer. Just another same little clip. All of these scenes, by the way, have some sort of, well, most of these have some sort of zoom in, and especially at like the cut here, you see that it speeds up exponentially. I hope the audio isn't too annoying. I can just do this, I suppose. Which one is it? This one. So you see, like, for a better transition, it speeds up a little bit there. And we have Junkrat intensely staring at an ass. And the camera is actually zooming in on Junkrat until the very last moment where it veers off into the ass. What a thing to say. This effect is actually more effect heavy than you might think, considering there's also a mask in the Overwatch thing. Because if I go to the Overwatch thing, let's see, Which one is it? I think this one. That's from the actual, like, the end bit of the Tunak clip. Yes, there's this mask on top of Symmetra's ass. Which, if I hide Symmetra, is just this black block, because it actually only becomes visible here. And that's just to hide the fact that Symmetra's ass is slightly transparent because of the green screen being weird. Now this is a pretty heavy layer. Oh no, wait, that's the next one. This one is actually quite simple, just 4 times the same clip. Then I nested all of these so I don't have like 67,000 clips at the end of it. So this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. Same for this, it's just in quarters, so I didn't have like massive amounts of layers. More curry. Now this bit is actually very effect heavy, so I'm just gonna mute it again. Right, so this actually... There. This clip right here nested these in place. It's got like a mirror thing in there originally, so you can see Junkrat's gun here. So there's 2 asses. This has a strobe effect. So every shot the strobe goes to makes layer transparent, which means that every time it strobes, which I had to time, it shows what's underneath it, which in this case is alternating clips of the curry and the ass. And curry and the ass, and then on the little thing, it's a curry ass, because that's how life works. Curry ass. So that's the second curry ass, different curry this time. Well, different shot, same curry. Now this bit is just simply more green screen Symmetras with single colors. It's actually only 2, even though you see 4 of them, it's just one moving in the bit that it's transparent at. So this one over here is now this one over here. Whoop. Now these are simply the background colors here. These 3. So it's one for red, one for yellow, one for fade out, because it was easier to edit that way. And Symmetra simply, I think... Oh no, I actually changed the entire Symmetra. I thought it was like that I actually manually changed it in the channel mixer, but it's just different color Symmetra as separate cuts. There's a little jump cut here you can see quite prominently, but I try to hide like a big portion of the gun appearing, because it's a little bit more similar like this. So you see a mask going away very quickly there, so it looks a little bit smoother. Couldn't get it completely smooth obviously. And there's a lot of like effects on making it go smoothly like that, like the movement she makes. And there's the clip again. This time mirrored so that it looks a bit different from the previous one, so it has a bit more dynamic flow, buzzwords. There's the manually added beat again. Now these clips were a bitch to render and make and do and stuff. So this is all nested, because otherwise it would be like 4 times as tall. But basically there's the background pieces, obviously, and then the green screen things on top of it. And instead of just having them appear as they originally were, they actually fade in using a blur effect that goes from 100 to 0. So if I just go to the start, there. And since they're nested, they both have the blur effect instead of having to do both the background and the thing manually. The teleporters were not actually all that difficult to green screen, but that was one thing I was very afraid of, because it has all the like different grades of opacity. Now the turrets were actually a bit of a ball ache, because if I go to videos, no, not videos, the other one. Right, so I've got here the first export I made of this, which still had a few flaws in it. And the main one was this effect on the turrets, where the green screen and the rendering made something weird happen, so they were just these horrible patchy messes. As you can see here. Also, the one other thing I changed between ones was where in this bit you can really see like this weird black spot because the mask was constantly visible on the Overwatch logo. So I fixed that here by adding this. Wait, if I just, let's see, how do I do this? You. Was it you? Hello? Yeah, there we go. I just added like a layer of blackness under it, and I masked out the main problem areas, and I added that to all of them. So like alternating these layers are like black spots. Now the preview has some issues with it. So here a few things happen. Of course these go away, which is like their own separate little layer here, just nested so it was easier to move them aside nicely. I think there's also some curves to make it go smoothly. But also the background footage, the main Symmetra dancing footage, because the other one dances on top of that, starts to go blurry. There's Symmetra. Now these are just the same little clip of her dancing going big. I mean, not much to say there. And no opacity there. Now the preview has some issues again. Okay, here comes the clip with the hands. Also recorded in front of the Hollywood green screen. Every single clip that uses green screen, both the turrets, the teleporter, the dancing Symmetras from all different angles, the little flick of the shoulder dust thing, all of those are recorded in the Hollywood green screen room. So here you see the ult hands. Now instead of having the wall appear here, we actually cut to a complete red screen which appears dramatically. Then these Symmetras were actually a pain to get right, to get like the speed of them appearing right, because if you just do it like in a single speed, it doesn't work at all. And there's a little black layer on top which is masked with a heavy feather, so it has a bit more depth to it, so this area is brighter than this area. And this is like, first I had them just 3 on one side, then with the yellow version 3 on the other side. That didn't quite work, so now they're on both sides, which is just different. It's just copied over and mirrored over. Teleporter, all made yellow. Same here. Actually, when you go through the teleporter, the brightness actually changes. You can see that here a little bit on the layer. So it's like this, I think, is fully bright, where the blackness layer on top is completely invisible. And here you can see it go darker again, specifically from here. That little bit there. Just added a little bit more depth. And there's the ult hands again, but this time in red. This didn't quite work out perfectly, but what you gonna do? And the same effect that applied earlier, but now in black. And that's pretty much it. Of course, the song itself, the Tunak Tunak song, goes on for quite a while longer. And oh yeah, you can see here all like the different clips I did and did not use. Red screen, different cuts of her dancing, different cuts of me dancing, an effect I ended up not using in the background. I just throw everything in there like a massive picture dump. I don't know what this is. Still don't know what this is. So it's all kinds of different clips. You can see here this was one of my main green screen takes with all the uninteresting bits cut out, where I change weapons, where the HUD is visible, stuff like that. Different takes. More different takes. The ass take. The infamous ass take. Was the ass take a mistake? You may never know. This was a test with the 2 Symmetras dancing on either side. I think I ended up using this. I mean, with the 2 yellow Symmetras on either side, and I actually used like this specific thing but copied over. More dancing sims. More dancing sims. Just a little bit of trying out compositions. So here the Tunak thing goes on again. I'm just gonna go ahead and mute it. there we go, like different takes for the ult. One thing that you have to keep in mind is, of course, this can't be green screen, so for the actual deploying animation, looking down real quick was important, so you wouldn't see the wall, stuff like that. Little things. Teleporters, turrets, teleporters, more turrets. I think I used the reload animation a few times, but I didn't end up using it. More teleporters, and I think that is it. Yes, it is. Well, and yeah, I've got all kinds of like video files of me running around in Hollywood here. And that's it. Bye!